Hello everyone, very good evening. This is Uma Peri, founder of Golden Women Club, and we are here with one more expert in our GWC Expert Live session. So, I know this is Sunday. You all must be having family time and fun time. So, we got lot of fun, including business. So, today we have Ankita Soni, a young chartered accountant, a successful young chartered accountant. Uh, what to say about her? The way she achieved each milestone at the very young age, that is so surprising. So usually we hear studying chartered accountancy is like a saint job we cannot do. But she is one example for such people. If somebody is telling you that, you show her, and you can also do that with little hard work and effort, obviously. So let me introduce Ankita Soni, a young chartered accountant and successfully running her own accountancy firm from past 10 years. Hello Ankita, very good evening. Welcome to our show.
Hello, Uma. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So today we are here to discuss about how to start a business legally, like what and all documentation you need to take care of and what and all types of registrations you need to do if you want to start a company. And yes, obviously we will extend the topic to how to take care of other things after starting a business also. So, Ankita, please let our viewers know what actually required initially for the initial setup.
Okay, so shall we start with the presentation directly or
Yes, whichever is convenient. So, shall we
okay,
start
fine.
with the presentation?
Or else I'll just give the brief idea first.
Okay.
So, being into this practice for last 10 years, I have observed that the most ignored department is nothing but accounts and taxation. Because whenever somebody will start with the business, they will always focus on the operations and they will be busy analyzing the product and then putting them into the market and then how to bring the business, how to bring money in. So that is so exciting that in the process we forget about the tax compliance, we forget about the different registrations required, we forget about what is the importance of accounting my financial transactions, and all these aspects are ignored, especially in the initial years of your business. And by the time you are establishing the business, uh, and you realize, okay, this is also one of the important aspects. You are so far that you can't go back 5 years and again reconcile your books and streamline everything. So that will again become a new process or maybe new job for a businessman to set right last 5 years or last 10 years and then start the process, set up the process so that business is not affected or any tax notices are not coming in to make sure that there is no tax notices from the different departments. So then I have felt that little late, always little late in the compliance or uh, in the account, making sure the accounts are maintained. So that's why today's topic is focusing on that only basically. So what we want to achieve through this webinar is what is the importance of accounting and taxation from day one of the business, right?
Yes,
So that will be my focus. So we can start with the presentation.
definitely.
And before the presentation, I would like to say something about Uma. So I personally like Uma very much. She's a very kind and nice human being, very supportive, and her vision is very clear. How she wants to help many women, how she wants to empower so many women. And I'm really impressed by your thought of making this club where you want different women to be connected to each other, take benefit of each other's expert knowledge. So I'm really inspired by that thought.
Thank you so much. Actually, this idea came from a group of women after when I'm meeting many people. So I used to get a lot of invitations, but I couldn't go because of a small baby and distance factor and the schedules. Especially in city or somewhere everywhere, whenever we want to go, we had to skip one event and we have to attend one event. This usually happens. So I was just thinking like how to attend all the events on one platform. So then this idea clicked in
Right.
my mind to establish a virtual network. Immediately, I approached you and couple other friends to support me with to take this idea to the next level, how to implement. So obviously, you suggested me with the documentation part and how to register this entity, and few other friends have supported me with enhancing the idea with a few more wings and bringing in few more people. So that is how we have grown this big in the small, very little span of time, I would say. So thanks to each and every golden woman. This is not only my effort, just idea is mine, but all the hard work and hardships are we had journeyed together, I say.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Okay.
So
So the subject, the main line of my presentation is, "Are you exhausted?" So I just love this line. So many people are, when it comes to accounts and tax, they are like, no, 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 I don't want this. I want money, I want profit, but I don't want tax, I don't want compliance. I just don't like it, right? But
true.
it's not. We can't run any business in any country without this compliances, right? So this is one of the very important part of any business. So being very close to Women's Day, I thought I'll first try to cover, how what I feel about a woman, how being a working woman, what is my thought process, and how I deal with my challenges. Maybe it may be helpful to other women. So working, when we talk about the working woman, basically all women are working. So there are women who are working in farms, there are women who are working in our homes, there are women who are working in factories, in offices, and there are women who are working for our country also, right? So what are the major challenges women feel is one is high expectations from herself. She wants to become a superwoman, and she wants to do everything. She wants to be everywhere. And if, let's say, she is attending one meeting and not able to take care of the child, then she feels guilty about it. So, and she has lots of self doubts because of the different types of responsibility she is taking care. She wants to be at home at the time. She wants to do take care of the business. She wants to take care of employees and kids and husband and in-laws and parents. So she doesn't want to compromise in any area of her life, and that's how
So this
most
is
of the
not,
women are.
sorry to interrupt, Ankita, but this is not the problem with women actually. This is the stigma which is circulating around the society. You should balance the family, you should balance work. First, you check what your husband need, what your children need, and then later you go for work. This is what we have been taught, right?
Right,
from the
right,
right from the childhood we have been taught, and uh, we saw the same doing the same. Our elderly people also have done the same. They have first took care of family, husband, children, later grandchildren, and then work.
right. So my formula is very simple. I am not a superwoman. I am a human being like any other human being on the earth, and so I would do what I like and what I enjoy doing. Right? That doesn't mean I'll not take care of the responsibilities. Definitely, I'll do it, but I will do according to my capacity. I'll not overload myself, and I'll not overload and go into stress all the time or every day. So this is what I wanted to convey. I hope it is good enough.
Yes, yes. We should take our me time actually, me space, me time, whatever you call it. You take at least daily half an hour and any time in a day. That will definitely make difference between the previous time and present time.
Right, right. You are right. Okay, so now we'll jump on to our topic. So the first question comes to me when somebody wants to come and meet me, that what should be our business entity type. We want to start this business, but what is the best business entity type for my business, right? So it depends on the number of people involved in the business. Let's say if one person wants to start one business. I have mentioned one woman because today we are celebrating, we are close to Women's Day, and we are speaking for Golden Women. So if one
Yes.
woman wants to start the business, then there are two options. One is she can start with the proprietorship form. Second thing is she can start with a one-person company. Now the major difference between these two is compliance, and of course
Okay.
name. If proprietorship form name is there, anybody can copy that name. But one person company name, your name is given by the registrar of companies, and the same name cannot be used by anybody else in the India. So that is the first major difference. And second difference is compliance. So in proprietoryship form, there are no compliances of registrar of companies, but in one person company, there will be minimum compliance, annual compliance will be there, right? So this is the small idea about what is proprietorship concern and what is one person company. Then let's say there are more than one woman. There are two, three, four, five people. They want to come together and they want to start some business. Then what are the other types of entity they can do? So one is partnership firm, one is LLP. LLP is limited liability partnership firm, then private limited company or public limited company. So here also there are differences between this. So what is a partnership firm? So partnership is the easiest way to start the business when there are more than one person involved. So in this, you can start with the partnership deed. Partnership deed will have all the terms and conditions between the partners, the profit sharing ratio, and who will bring what capital, and what will be the roles and responsibility of different partners. And then after partnership deed, one can apply for the PAN card, and then partnership registration will be there. So when the partnership firm is registered, then based on that, bank account can be opened. If GST is applicable, GST certificate can be taken and business can be started. So it is very easy way to start the business, less compliant as compared to less compliances as compared to LLP or private limited company, definitely. But as the name suggests, the liability is unlimited. So let's say if something goes wrong in the partnership firm, then even personal assets of the partners are liable. So that is the most disadvantage in the partnership firm. But easy to manage, and uh, anybody who is very new to the business and they don't want to start with lots of compliances, they can go for the partnership firm. Now the same similar thing is there when we talk about limited liability partnership, which is called LLP. So in LLP, the one more advantage is that you get the name reservation. So because it is also registered with registrar of companies, so you get the name reservation. The same name, similar or same name cannot be used by say, any other person in the India. And here the liability of the partners are limited. That's why the name itself saying limited liability partnership. So mostly like professionals, like chartered accountants or any other professionals where the liability is very high, they prefer for LLP. Even many business people also prefer LLP. Okay, then next comes the company. So company, the best advantage of forming a company is owners and management can be different people, different set of people rather. This advantage is not there in partnership and it is not there in LLP. In partnership, owners are running the business. In LLP also, owners are running the business. Whereas in company, owners are called shareholders, whereas management called directors. So let's say Mr. A and Mr. B can be directors of the company, and Mr. C and Mr. D can be shareholders of the company. So that
Oh,
is the
that means
most
if I want to do a business, I don't need to work. In fact, I can invest and start the company with the idea, and I can recruit directors, and I can run the company. You mean to say?
yes, definitely, definitely.
One.
And if somebody wants to start the business, they want to run the business, they don't want to fund the business, then they can make somebody else shareholders of the company, and they
Hmm.
can become directors of the company, right? So that is the private limited company. And public limited company, as the name suggests, if somebody is interested to bring public money into the business, then they have to go for the public limited company, right?
So, what is the difference between private limited and public limited company?
This is the main difference. In private limited company, you cannot bring money from the public. Only
Hmm.
shareholders can bring the money. Whereas
Okay.
in the
So,
public limited
what
company, you
kind
can
of
involve public.
businesses can be registered under public limited company?
Any kind of businesses can be registered. Any kind of business. But if you are a very initial stage of the business, then we don't suggest it for public limited company. We can start with the private limited company, and then slowly, slowly, when the business gets bigger, it can be converted into public limited company.
Okay. So, how the compliance is different for these companies?
Yeah, so for partnership, as I told, it is a list compliances will be there. Only annually you have to file one income tax return. And if you are GST registered partnership firm, then maybe monthly GST registration will be there. GST return filing will be there. But as far as company is concerned, there is a statutory audit requirement. So annually, it has to be audited. Financials has to be audited by a practicing chartered accountant, and there is the register of companies annual form filing, which has to be done. So this is the major difference. And even in LLP, there are few annual compliances with register of companies. And for any register of companies annual compliances, there are late fees. So if it is not done in time, there are the late fees are accumulated, and it will become a cost to the company or LLP if not done in time. So in case of LLP and private limited company, the compliance has to be done in time. That's the minimum we have to keep in mind, right? Now, if somebody is into social service, then there are trust and society and Section 8 company options are available. So I think I have covered mostly everything about the business entity. Uma, anything
We
you
have
want
a
to?
query actually, Ankita. So,
Yeah,
while selecting a name of the entity, what and all precautions we need to take, like infringement and the trademark, these all copyrighted keywords will be there, right? While selecting
right.
a name, how can we check that?
Okay, so what many people do is before they register the company, they do their trademark search. Okay,
Mm.
and there is one website which I can share later on with you. So on that website, there are different class for different products and services. There are different class. So in those different classes, we can do our little homework and we can search, okay, whether any name like this or any similar name like this is there in the similar products or similar services, right? And once we are convinced, okay, these names are not used by anybody else, then we can go for the logo and trademark registration for the same name. And in meanwhile, we can apply for the same name in the company for ROC. As earlier I told, proprietorship form and partnership form, anybody can use your name. So there is no name reservation as far as proprietorship form and partnership form is concerned. This
Mm.
option is there only in LLP and private limited company.
Okay.
But trademark can be registered in your name. So
Okay.
if
So
some
I have
unique
one,
name is
I
there,
got this query. One more query is, for example, this company, Google is already a trademarked and a very well known company. So what if
hmm,
I register a company, a partnership firm with the name something, a prefix and suffix to Google? Will it get registered?
uh, only thing is, if you go for partnership firm registration, there are officers who will be approving your name.
Mm-hmm.
So they are the final people to decide about the name,
No,
right?
because I know one company, so that is the reason I was just
But it is
asking you.
allowed. It
Will
is
they get
allowed.
any infringement issues?
No, let's say if I am saying ABC Google and company, for example,
Mm-hmm.
okay, then in another partnership firm it can be allowed because there is no restriction on that unless and until I am doing something against the Google and Google comes and try to get into my thing and they are scared of me or something like that. I don't see any problem,
Great. Okay.
right? Yeah. So can I jump to the next one?
Yes.
Okay. So uh, as personally being a chartered accountant, I always love accounting. So people feel, being a chartered accountant, our job is to just to take care of annual compliance and taxation and auditing. But I feel one cannot do auditing or tax compliance unless and until the accounting is done accurately. And we have observed also till now in our career, we have observed also that if accounting is proper, it is accurate and timely, then we are able to do all the tax compliances timely and accurately, right? So that's why I feel that any compliance, tax compliance, or anything related to business, the accounting is the base. Okay. So why I need accounting and how to do it? This is what I have given the topic. So accounting is not only for business people. Accounting can be done even by professionals like doctors and chartered accountants and lawyers. So they may not be feeling, okay, my firm is a small firm. Why should I account my financial transactions? But it will definitely help them when the financial figures are in front of them. When profit and loss account is in front of them, when balance sheet is in front of them, they can take better business decisions. They can do their business analysis. They will know what is my gross profit per annum, what is my net profit ratio per annum. If I'm making a revenue of let's say 1 crore, how much gross profit I'm earning, how much net profit I'm earning. You can analyze your P&L and balance sheet with other people in the same industry, like other companies whose data is available in the public domain. What is their GP ratio? What is their NP ratio? If they are able to make 20% NP ratio, then why I am making only 10% NP, right? And even percentage wise expense analysis one can do. Let's say I am into the business of manufacturing of some food item and my manufacturing cost is let's say 36%, whereas the other company in the same field, same manufacturing process, and then their manufacturing cost is only 25%, then definitely I have to question myself. Then my cost is 36%, because I'm losing my margin there, I'm losing my profit there. So all this can be done only the accounting data is fed properly, because what goes in will come out. So if data, whatever we are feeding into the software in the accounting package is correct, is there is a process set for that. See, most of the businesses, small businesses will fail in the processing, setting up the processes. We have to, from again, I'm insisting here from day one, try to set the processes for your businesses. Whether it is operations, whether it is HR, whether it is accounting, it is anything. It can be any department of your business, but you have to have process. You can start with a small document, and then when your business will grow, your document will become bigger. But that will definitely help you to be more organized in your business, rather than after 5 years again sitting on the processes and set right our processes. So for accounting also, I insist that there should be processes from the day one of our business. So one more important point here you can see in the PPT is always keep your business bank account and your personal bank account separate. Because I've seen many people who are small businesses, they do everything in one bank account. So they do shopping also from the same bank account. They will ask their customer to deposit money also in the same bank account. So everything is so jumbled up that they can't segregate what is my business transaction, what is my personal transaction, what is my profit, how much I am spending on my personal expenditure, right? So there is no clarity about how much I'm earning from this business, whether I'm earning or not, whether there is a profit or loss in my business. So we cannot figure it out unless and until we are systematic from the beginning. And always have record of each and every transaction, every financial transaction of the business. And maintenance of all the invoices. Let's say you're buying some laptop, you are spending on the expenditure. So everything can be maintained in one file. It is not a big task. It is a very 1 or 2 hours task. So in a month, how many expenditure I have done? Just there will be 5 or 6 or 7 bills. I can put it in the one file. So it's just a small thing, but mostly ignored thing. Okay, so monthly accounting is must. Not only accounting, monthly review of accounting is also must. And we have seen from our experiences that if for small businesses, it is always preferred if they can outsource their accounting work. Because for a small business, it is not affordable to have a full-time accountant. They will be charging something per month. That much work will not be there. The accountant will be wasting his time. You will be wasting your money. And after doing that, also the results may not be good enough. They may do just data entry. You may not be able to analyze your data. You will not know your figures properly. They may be doing some mistakes. Again, you will need third party to verify your mistakes. So all that can be ignored in the beginning of your business. Once your business is set up properly, then you can have your internal in-house accountant who will be taking care of your accounts, and then you can have third party for the verification of your account. Yeah. So any doubt till here?
No,
Any
we are
question?
clear with this. Viewers, if you have any queries, you can drop in your queries in comments, and we will be happy to answer your queries.
So yeah, so when it comes to analysis of profit and loss account and balance sheet, one will know the cash flow, how much money is coming in, how much money is going out, what is my cycle, working capital cycle, how many receivables are there, how many payables are there, and so many things will be known from your financials. Yeah,
Yes.
so now I'll jump to the direct tax. Direct tax means as the name itself is suggesting, it is directly collected from the government. So income tax is one of the direct taxes. So income tax compliance is annual compliance. So in any kind of entity, whether it is a proprietorship business or it is a partnership business, LLP, private limited company, everybody will have one PAN number, PAN number, permanent account number, and through that PAN number, we have to file our annual income tax return. For proprietorship firm, the PAN number of the proprietorship firm is same as PAN card of the proprietor. So it is not different. So if let's say one person is having 10 proprietorship firm, then at the end of the year, he has to reconcile, he has to compile all his, consolidate all his 10 proprietorship data and put it in the one income tax return. Whereas partnership firm will have its own PAN card, it can file its own income tax return. LLP company same. Based on your entity type, different tax rates are there. Let's say partnership firm, the rate of income tax is 30%. For LLP also it is 30%. For private limited company it is 25%. But there is a manufacturing company. Then if the manufacturing is starting before 31st March 2023, then the percentage is only 15%. There are other small companies where the turnover is less than 500 crore, then the percentage is only 22%. of income tax. So different rates are there for different business entity. And when we decide business entity also,
So I
this
have a
rate is
query,
very
Ankita.
sure.
So there are certain schemes, government schemes in India where we can apply for tax exemption for entities,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So how can we avail
So
and how can we check whether we are eligible or not?
okay, so one first question answer is that it is a very vast subject what the query the viewer has asked. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
just try to answer it very briefly that let's say startup. So for startup, there will be some benefit, right? So the first
Yes.
question is whether startup is eligible to be called a startup because there will be the definition in the act. So first we have to see the definition, whether that startup is falling under the definition. If it is falling under the definition, definitely it can avail those benefits. Same for
Mm.
SEZ companies earlier. Now it is no more there. But earlier when SEZ was a new concept, then at that time government was giving benefit to this company. That if the company is located in SEZ, then there is no need of income tax payment for let's say 5 years, 10 years like that. So we have to see the definition. If your business is falling under that definition, then definitely yes, you can avail those schemes, but it is a separate assignment altogether, right?
Okay.
So the person I was talking about, the percentage of tax rate is also very important to decide your entity type. So when somebody will come to us, okay, what should be our business entity?
Mm-hmm.
So we discuss with them and we ask them many questions. Based on that, we decide what should be the business entity. So let's say somebody wants to start the manufacturing unit in this year now, in this financial year. Then the private limited company will be the best because the income tax rate is only 15% for those private limited companies. So, and it keeps changing year to year. So every year the rates keep changing based on the budget. So every year, if you come this year, my advice can be different. If you come next year, my advice can be different. So there is no standard rules for this. So based on the available rates, the available scheme, based on that, we can suggest the business entity type. So income tax return filing is just an annual compliance. But again, as I earlier told that uh, tax is totally dependent on accounting. So income tax we have to pay only on profit. So how do we arrive at the profit? Unless and until the accounting is done properly. How do I know? I know that what is my profit for this financial year. Whether there is any profit or I'm into loss. And if we are into loss, then we have to be very careful because in case of loss, return has to be filed in time to carry forward that loss. If return
Yes.
is filed after that due date, then carry forward of loss is not allowed. Then you are losing that benefit, right? So then in case of loss, one has to be very careful. In case of profit, there will be the maximum thing is you can be levied interest or penalties for for delaying in your return filing. And one more important point when it comes to income tax is tax planning. So when we talk about tax planning, monthly accounting and monthly review is very important because based on that only you can do the proper tax planning, right? And how many of us are aware that there is one entity type available by name HUF, Hindu Undivided Family, and it can have its own PAN card, it can have its own source of income, and it will be taxed separately. So you will get even that benefit of one PAN card if HUF is formed and you are, planning tax planning is properly done for the HUF. So very few people are aware about the HUF. So HUF can be explored and it can be used as a proper tax planning tool. So yeah, Uma, any doubt, any question in the direct tax till now?
No, it is clear.
Okay, just a minute. I have to. Yeah. So I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes, yes.
So we'll jump to the next one, that is indirect tax. So as the name suggests, indirect tax is not directly levied, but indirectly levied. So it
Mhm.
means government is levying tax on the consumer for anything they are consuming. So if we are buying dress, there is a tax. If we are eating in the restaurant, there is a tax. Anything we are buying, there is a tax we are paying on it. But it is not directly paid by the consumer, but it is collected through businesses, right? So if let's say some companies manufacturing earphones, then they are collecting from the consumer GST, goods and service tax, and they are paying the same tax to the government. So it is the responsibility of the businesses to collect the tax from the consumers and pay it to the government. So when it is applicable? First question. So if any business's turnover is exceeding 20 lakhs per annum, then goods and service tax is applicable. GST is applicable. So this is the first criteria. And the moment registration is done, we have to be very, very careful because there are monthly compliances or quarterly compliances based on the turnover. So if there is a delay in the compliances, then there are late fees per day. And it can become a huge cost to the businesses if they are not aware about this such late fees. And we have observed that again in this compliances also, proper record maintenance and accounting is only helping out. So those who are very particular about the record maintenance, accounting, for them it is very easy to file their GSTR 1 and 3B monthly or quarterly or GSTR 9 annually. So for this kind of services, you need a very reliable advisor because there are lots of cost involved for the non-compliance. It is not ignorance is not bliss here. You cannot be ignorant. You can't say, I was not aware there was a GSTR 1 due date. I was not aware there was 3B due date was there. So it cannot be like that. One more thing is the supply chain is also affected. Let's say you are in the middle of some supply chain. Your buyer is also a business person and your supplier is also a business person and you are just a middle person and you are not GST compliant, then there is a chance that you may be out of your business also. Because now everything is online, your customer will get credit only when you are filing on time and accurately. Otherwise, their business is suffered. And if their business is suffered, your business is also suffered. So
Yes.
it has become a very important that we understand the importance of being systematic. Have processes in place. Make sure it is followed by everybody in the organization, in the business, whether it is a small or big, it doesn't matter. And we are compliant. When it comes to income tax, it comes to GST, we are compliant. Then it's very easy to run the business. I hope you agree with me, right, Uma?
Yes, yes. So I
Yeah.
have a
So,
query here. Few people they don't give GST invoice for businesses also or for individuals also for the services they render. So how
hmm.
to handle in such scenarios?
So see, if we cannot be held responsible if somebody else is not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it is possible that if their turnover is less than 20 lakhs, they may not be registered. They may not be coming under that registration limit, so they may not be registered. But if we are supposed to register, then we have to register. So if they are not compliant, it is not our responsibility. But of course, we can educate them because they are part of our business. So let's say
Yes.
if they are they itself is providing 25 lakh services to you, what 25 lakh rupees, then you have to tell them please register for GST. You are crossing the limit. Though it is not
Hmm.
my responsibility or your responsibility to tell them, but because they are our business partners. It is our responsibility to guide them, to educate them that they are liable for registration, and it's better if they register.
Mhm.
Yeah, any other query till here? Direct tax, indirect tax?
No, it is clear.
Okay, just a minute. I'm facing some.
So it looks very simple, but when practicing, it is really tough. My personal experience having two private limited companies and this non-profit. So accounting itself is a tough job,
No, it is not
and
so tough. The only thing is it is the most ignored. As I started, it is the most ignored department, right?
Mhm.
Because it is not generating any revenue, direct revenue. I will say it is.
Yes, yes,
If you are taking care of it, it can save lots of cost for you. Definitely, it can save lots of things for you. But the only
yes.
thing is there is no visible inflow out of this department. So
Yes,
that is
we
the
need to
reason.
maintain the cash flow ledger at least, right? We are not compliant with those things now, but it should be maintained. That all the accounts should be maintained properly because we need to maintain the transparency.
Yes, yes. And definitely see, the effort versus return will be more. If
True.
somebody is putting, let's say, half day in a month for accounting, you don't have to sit and do it. You have to just find out the proper advisor or proper person who can do it for you. You have to just provide them the proper
Could you
data.
suggest any software or something where we can, put in figures directly?
See, for small businesses, I don't suggest any software.
Mm-hmm.
Because again it is like difficult for them to buy that software and they put the figure into that like that. There are many things are available now, even applications are available where you can easily put all these things. It's a very easy
Okay.
thing. One is our bank statement. If we download our bank statement, okay, sales invoices, anyway it will be there in the system, or it will be on any software, or maybe in the physical file. There will be purchase invoices, that is also there, which will be with you in the physical form or maybe in the soft copy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing
Yeah.
is monthly tracking. So let's say somebody is maintaining bank account, business bank account, then you download it into the Excel and you just put a remark in front of your transaction that this is for what.
Mm-hmm.
This is how much time it will take. It won't take more than half an hour for a person who is
True.
doing transaction every day, right? So
Yes.
half an hour in a month for your bank statement. For other things, maybe half an hour. And then you give all this data to an accountant. He will do it in half day. And then your P&L and balance sheet is in front of you. And you will know what is my profit, what is my turnover, what is my purchase cost, what is my expenses, how much I'm spending on salary, how much I'm spending on rent, what is the percentage. And everything is in front of you. What are my receivables? What are my payables?
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
it's not so difficult. The only thing is we have to start looking in this direction.
Yeah. Yes, practice makes man perfect. So, friends, please,
Yeah.
everyone, try to maintain your accounts with remarks. So, whenever you are spending, you quickly open your phone, open notes, and mention the date and how much amount you are spending or receiving, and put in remarks. So, this will
Yes.
match your bank statement, and it will be 15 minutes job very easily, as per Ankita.
Yes.
Even I will try from this month. So,
Yeah.
you also try and let us know how it is working and how it is saving your time.
And the easiest way to do is have one group, WhatsApp group,
Okay.
right? Where your CA is there or your accountant is there. And you just, whenever you are spending, just put into that account, in that group. This is for this, this is for this. And then
Then it will
when
be a
your
big
bank,
job for you, Ankita. Please
no, I'm just telling
remember,
you.
you are suggesting me to add yourself into a group wherein I'm gonna bombard all the receipts.
No, but at least it will be very clear, right? We will, because we keep to
True.
forget many transactions. After, let's say, if you ask me my bank transaction which I have done before 5 days, I may not be able to recollect why I have
Yes.
spent, whom I have transferred. Then I have to again go to here and there and search for my transaction. So instead of that, it is better the moment I'm doing my transaction, I'm putting in the group. It is very easily trackable.
True.
Yeah, of course, there are many applications and all those stuff, but we have to see the security aspects and everything, how they are
Hmm.
using our data, and all this also has to be considered before suggesting any app to anybody.
Hmm. 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 True. Data breaching is a big issue these days. So we have to secure our data as much as possible.
Right. Yeah. So there are different registrations which are required for a business. One is MSME registration. It is not a mandatory registration. It is a voluntary registration. So based on there is MSME website, you can go, and that it is very easy. One can just go and register his or her business in a maybe 10 or 15 minutes. So this is one registration. The benefits can be availed. There will be many schemes available for it. There will be MSME benefit. Let's say payment has to be done to MSME unit within 30 days. So all those things will be easily available if MSME registration is there. Then, if any food business is there, then food license is must. If business is having employees more than 10 employees, and that salary is less than 21,000 per month, then ESI registration is must. If any business is having more than 20 employees, then PF registration is must. There are some local registrations also required for businesses like trade licenses. So any shops or any businesses which is running, they may be occupying some space. So based on the per square feet, some charges to be will be levied by municipality. So that trade license has to be there. Then professional tax registration is there. So let's say any company is registered, then company has to get professional tax registration from the Telangana uh, commercial tax department. And annually, company has to pay 2,500 professional tax. If directors are there, they are taking remuneration, then for each director, 2,500 professional tax has to be paid. And if there are employees in the company organization, then if employee salary is more than 15,000, up to 20,000, then 150 rupees uh, from each employee, the professional tax has to be deducted and paid to government every month. So there are two types of professional tax registration. One is for employees and one is for employer. The employer one is annual compliance. The employee one is monthly compliance. That there we have to collect from the employees and we have to pay to the government. And then there is Telangana Shops and Establishment Tax License, which is also again Telangana government compliance. This has to be done based on the number of employees. Some fees are there, 0 to 500 rupees, like that, 5 to 10, some amount is there. Based on that, every year this renewal has to happen. So these are the other registration which is required for any businesses. Minimum registration, I am saying. Apart from this, based on the industry to industry, there will be, let's say, factory is there, then there will be some other compliances. There are labor licenses, different labor laws will be applicable to the factories. So I have not covered all those. I have tried to cover the minimum required registration here.
Yes. So, food license and these are all nationwide. MSME, food license, ESI, and PF, and trade license, professional tax, and Telangana shops and establishment act license.
Yeah,
These three are state government licenses. So these
right,
three
right.
may vary from state to state.
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
definitely.
So actually, recently you only shared one paper thing. If no one, if one is not having FSSAI registration and selling or trading in any food business commercially, they'll be laid 6 lakhs or 5 lakhs penalty.
No, no, maybe you might have got. I mean, there will be penalties for that because I am not a
Mhm.
food license expert. I cannot comment on the amount. But of course,
Okay.
if somebody is in the food business and they don't have food license, there are penalties. definitely.
So home bakers and these, pickles and chutney powders, these people should also have this
Yes,
license?
yes. Anything which has to do with food is food license is mandatory.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Then I just tried to
Okay.
cover this one more aspect for the financial planning. So the what we do is we are so busy in earning the money that we this aspect is mostly ignored. So
Mhm.
what is the importance of monthly accounting, monthly compliance? The same importance is for monthly investment also. So one has to make sure if I'm making let's say 50,000 of profit per month, then how much I want to invest every month. So let's say I want to invest at least 40% of my profit for my personal investment, not for the business. So am I
Mhm.
investing 20,000 per month? Am I aware that whether I'm investing it or not investing, or it is just lying in the bank account and I'm losing the benefit of, maybe doubling or tripling it. So this is also one of the most ignored aspects when it comes to uh, anybody. I mean, any businessman or a woman. Sometimes money is just lying in the bank account and we are not using it properly by not investing it on time. So just given here one calculation that if somebody will invest 16,000 per month for 15 years, then that amount can become 1 crore at the end of the 15 years, right? So this is the power of mutual fund. So when I am investing into mutual fund for past 7, 8 years, and I have earned between 15 to 18% per annum,
Okay.
irrespective of COVID and all this what is going on. We have seen that last few years have been very unstable years, right? In spite of that, I could make 15 to 18% growth per annum. So that is the
True.
power of systematic investment, right? So financial planning is again, I told the most important aspect for independent woman entrepreneur because just earning is not important. Even investing it in the right time into right asset is also very important. It is also a
Yeah.
monthly task. And it is one of the tax saving tools also. So let's say if somebody is coming in the bracket of 30% income tax rate and they want to save the tax, then just by investing 1.5 lakh per annum into ELSS, they can simply save 45,000 tax, right? So this is the power of mutual fund or investment under 80C. We call it section 80C investment.
Mhm.
So all this can be done all if properly planned. If we are systematic, we should have monthly calendar for ourselves. What I want to do on first day of the month, what I want to do on the second day of my month, what I want to do on the
Yes.
15th day of my month, what I want to do on the 21st day of my month. So if we are organized enough, then we can do all this. We can give time for each and every activity of our business. So yeah, this is what I wanted to convey. This is what I wanted to cover in my presentation. So if any other thing or any question or query you want to ask, I'm there to answer it.
So wonderful, and it is, elaborated in a very good way with every detail. If one wants to start a company, now they will ask CA directly that I want to register a private limited, I want to register a proprietorship without any hesitation because they got an idea of what kind of company they require. So,
Right.
thank you so much, Ankita, for this session. And yes,
I hope
mutual
I could
funds
leave.
advice
Yeah.
is also really good. But I would suggest everyone, please do your research before investing anywhere. Mutual fund is not one simple thing, it is a big ocean where you are investing, and through what channel you are investing, that is also very important. So check the person's credentials first. If he is authorized agent to guide you or advise you, then definitely it is the safest plan for your financial management, and of course with good returns also, as Ankita said. So,
Right.
what kind of credentials you suggest to check before investing in mutual funds, Ankita?
Uh, to be very frank, I am not the expert to say because my portfolio is managed by my husband, who is also practicing chartered accountant. His name is Jainik Soni, and we have been married for past 7 8 years. And from the day one, he is managing my portfolio, and I'm just checking my return every month. That's it. Okay, how much?
Great. See,
What is my rate of return?
everyone on stage, people will appreciate women like for every successful man, there is a woman behind his success. But it is vice versa. For every successful woman, there is a man behind her as a pillar. So without
Correct.
their
Very
support, it
true.
is impossible for us to stand. What I would say
Yes,
through my
yes,
experience,
definitely.
because where I started, I was nothing. I was a software engineer and a soft, calm going software engineer working 9 to 5 or in shifts, whatever. I am happy with my laptop and coding. But once, right after the marriage, everything changed because the family I stepped into after my marriage, they are all business people. So slightly it came into my nerves also. After seeing all of them, I got really inspired, and even I wanted to do business from childhood because my father is also having this coir manufacturing business. So they supported me a lot, thanks to my sister-in-laws and my husband especially. He mentored me and he spoon-fed me everything, right from how to select a name. In fact, he's the one who chose the name Golden Women Club also, and my other businesses also. So his gifts are so precious like this.
Right, right. You are very true in this. I mean, what you are saying is correct, 100% correct.
Yes. So
Okay,
we
so I
have
hope
yours.
I could meet your expectations. Whatever you wanted me to cover, I
Yes,
could
it is
cover.
beyond, Ankita, because you have covered each and every topic in a very detailed manner. So that maybe that is the reason we didn't get more queries these today. Jyoti
Okay,
Chalsani garu,
okay.
good evening, Andy.
Good evening, Jyoti.
Manohar
Thank you,
Kunapredi, good
Manohar.
session. Thank you.
Thank you, Manohar. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, Ankita. So do you want to add anything before we wind up the session?
No, nothing. Just I want to see more and more women entrepreneurs, more and more women coming to me for, because I'm into this practice for past 10 years, and I see the ratio is not equal, to be very frank, right? So let's say
True.
now the my clientele I'm having, let's say, 20% women and 80% men. So I want to see the reverse ratio.
Yes, on this Women's Day, okay, we are all celebrating womenhood in March. So March is the month for women. So if you want to start a company or anything, a business or retail outlet or anything, you definitely can take advice. You please contact us through the numbers scrolling down below on the screen. You can WhatsApp us or drop us an email. All your queries. So our team, we have advocates, chartered accountants, and financial planning experts, and all beautiful and eminent members in Golden Women Club. They'll be very happy to mentor you. And especially Ankita will definitely put in her time, all her time in right from your idea to setting up your unit. So
Yeah,
please
definitely.
do not hesitate if you have a little idea of starting something like I would like to start a tailoring unit. Yes, very fine. Whether it is small or big, one sewing machine or 10 sewing machines, whatever is your budget, you definitely start at a point. So if you're not being successful after trying, that is okay. But if you're not trying, that would definitely be your mistake. So don't take
Correct.
mistakes on your side. Let us grab the chance to blame someone else rather than blaming ourselves. So be strong, ladies, and come up with ideas, and whatever you want to do, do not hesitate. approach us, reach us, drop us a single message. That would we promise we keep your identity anonymous, and we can guarantee to help you in some or the other way, at least by giving advice.
Yeah, right, right. Uma, you are very true here that irrespective of the size of the business, we don't want to do it only for like we don't advise only for money, right? There are some
Yes.
satisfaction when some woman is coming to us and asking for some help to start the business. We feel very happy about it. Just by giving some advice, we feel so happy that okay, we are trying to help somebody who is trying out something new, and they want to do in spite of so many responsibilities at home. So that happiness is invaluable. So definitely, we are there to help you.
Yes. Let us all together grow big. Let us evolve from yesterday to today and today to tomorrow and to a bright near future. So, thank you, friends. Have a wonderful evening. We will be soon here with one more beautiful expert live session. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Uma. Thank you, everybody.